Okay, here we are and live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to part 3 of our Good Deeds Day Facebook Live mini series. In this series, we're going to be having conversations with our partners around the world about projects and work that they're doing in general and specifically during this coronavirus pandemic, how their focus has changed, and sharing some top tips to help you wherever you are around the world. So without further ado, let's get rolling. Today, I'm speaking with a sister team, Shreyaa and Esha, who are the founders of NEST4US, a teen-led nonprofit dedicated to providing volunteer solutions to the community to make the world better through kindness. The pair, okay, two sisters I'm reminding you, co-founded NEST4US NEST4US, as a platform for giving back to the community in a multitude of ways. Their goal is to create a ripple of kindness that spreads across the nation and eventually throughout the globe. So perfect for you guys to be here with us today. They also want to empower the next generation of compassionate youth to integrate kindness, generosity, and social good into their routine. And I know that everybody listening here today is very much interested to hear what you guys have to say and how to engage teens, because that seems to be the mystery for so many different people. So I'm honored to have the two of you with us today, and I can't wait for our conversation. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having us. We'd like to thank Good Deeds Day and thank you, Ms. Tova, for giving us this amazing opportunity to share about our work and how people can be kind in their community.
Well, we're super excited to hear what you guys have to say, because despite your young age, and you guys are 14 and 17, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I know this already, but everybody listening, you're about to find out what incredible stuff they've already done in the last 4 years, and can't wait to see what comes next. But we're going to focus on where we are today. So what I'd like to say, though, for all those who are joining us, whether you're listening now or you listen in later, feel free to write down in the comments what your name is, where you're from. Around the world. We'd love to hear and would love to interact with you. And as we go through our conversation today, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat and we will do our best to answer. So I'd like to start off by, why don't you just share with us how NEST4US even came about? How did you guys get started?
Yeah, so basically I'm Shreyaa and this is Esha. And we are the co-founders of NEST4US, which is a nonprofit with a mission to provide volunteer solutions to the community in order to make the world better through kindness. And it's gone from just us two to over 850 volunteers. And that's all thanks to our community support and our volunteer family. Basically, we serve our community through 5 main programs. NEST Nurtures is our free food redistribution program. NEST Tutors is our free tutoring program.
Wait. I want you to go slowly. Okay. And each one, tell us what that actually means. Because to you, food distribution makes complete sense. You know what that is in and out. You want to remember people are watching us all over the world. So not everybody knows what that means. So give us a few sentences on each program.
Yes. So we started off with NEST Nurtures, which is our food redistribution program. And the reason that we wanted to start with that program is because we noticed a couple issues in our community that we wanted to tackle. And one of the main ones was food insecurity. So we noticed a lot of homeless people in our local community who didn't have enough food and would often be hungry for weeks. And then we also noticed that in our community, in schools, in restaurants, even on cruises when we go on vacation, so much food is wasted. So we wanted to kind of connect the two and say, why are there so many people who don't have food when there's so much excess food being thrown away? And so that was the basis of our nonprofit and our very first program, NEST Nurtures. And so through NEST Nurtures, we have served over 25,000 meals to the homeless community and low-income families in the DC metro area. And we also have partnerships with Panera Bread and Starbucks and a lot of other corporate businesses and restaurants through which we rescue their excess food and donate it to over 23 homeless shelters and food banks in the Washington metro area.
Mm-hmm. So the other issue, wait one second. So basically what you guys do is you make that connection between restaurants and institutions that have extra food at the end of the day and make sure that the people who need them are getting them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Cool. So go ahead, Esha. What were you saying?
So the other issue that we wanted to overcome is we've noticed that a lot of people in our community lack the motivation to volunteer with a passion. Most people do community service solely for hours or some other incentive, which we believe defeats the purpose. So that's why we decided to create a multitude of programs where we can provide a variety of ways for people to give back by doing something that interests them. So do you want to talk about Nest Tutors?
Yeah. So Nest Tutors is our next program. So we decided to branch out from just having our food redistribution to our free tutoring program, through which we serve local kids in our community by pairing high schoolers and college kids with kids preschool through middle school. And so through this program, it's kind of a one-on-one face-to-face interaction. Right now it's virtual, but it would originally be face-to-face, which provides a really good connection between kids, and it benefits both sides because the younger kids are able to connect with someone who relates to them, who's gone to school and understands how the whole system works. But then the older kids also get to take on a leadership role and get to share what they know and share their knowledge and develop skills that will really help them in the future with leadership and teamwork and collaboration. So
absolutely. What I want to help clarify for those of you who are listening to us right now who are not from the United States is that a lot of high school kids in the United States, one of the things that they need to do in order to graduate is do volunteer hours. So that's part of the high school requirement. So they're not, one of the things we're hearing here is that the need, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's what Esha and Shreyaa are trying to do here is create opportunities for teens where they can do those hours, but not just do them to mark a V and say, I did it because I had to do it, but do something that they actually can connect to and feel really passionate about. Am I correct about that?
Yes. Definitely.
Awesome.
And so then do you want to explain about our other programs?
Sure. So then we created Nest Cares, where we've assembled over 12,000 blessing bags and school supply kits for underprivileged families in our community. And we've created and handwritten over 10,000 notes of encouragement that say messages like stay strong, we're with you, we love you, things like that, just to give them to people around our community to show that we're here for you and we care about them and that they're not alone in this world.
And then we expanded,
which is amazing. 1 second, you guys are running ahead. We've got time to talk about it. Don't worry. Is what I love about that, by the way, is that I know that so many people in this world feel alone, right? It's one of the biggest problems that we see. And actually, when we do research today about today's world, right, in technology, we're the most connected ever. I mean, here we are in 2 different countries having a conversation with people all over the world watching. Still, what research is showing is that people feel more alone than ever. And so creating an opportunity for actually people to feel connected is really special. Just want to put my 2 cents in there. So go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so our 4th program is Nest Buddies, which is a birthday in a box program created to serve underprivileged children and low-income families, because we believe that every kid deserves to celebrate their special day. So basically, we have these little boxes in which we put a little birthday cake, a birthday toy, birthday hat, gift card, little thing. Oh, handmade card. That's very important. Handmade card. So it just makes them feel loved, because what many people don't realize is that some people may not be able to afford a birthday celebration, but I mean, everyone should celebrate their birthday. It's something special. So that's why we decided to create that for underprivileged kids in our community.
Amazing.
And then our newest initiative is Nest Inspires, and it's a leadership program where the mission is to network, empower, succeed, and transform. And the key attributes of this program are public speaking, communication sessions, keynote presentations on making a difference in the community, interactive workshops, and getting awareness of issues and challenges in our community. And it's also an opportunity to make new friends and new connections.
So about this program, we were going to launch our first leadership summit in April, actually this month. But due to COVID, we were unable to. But we are excited we are hoping that we would be able to host our first leadership summit in the fall, once this whole COVID thing dies down and it's safe enough for us to connect. And worst case, if it doesn't, we're going to look to do it virtually. and see how we can get the community involved virtually through leadership seminars and things like that.
Amazing. So this last initiative, who is it geared towards? So who's coming to the summit? Who are the participants?
So it's open to everyone, but we want to focus it on the younger generation because they're the ones that are entering the world, and we realize that the youth are the future of the world, and we want them to be able to share their voice and share their ideas in an open forum. And so that's why we wanted to create this, where they can talk with other youth and other leaders in the community on how they can implement their ideas and how they can basically share their opinions and share their voice in the world that they're soon going to inherit. So
right. So the people who volunteer with you, is this all teens?
So in our volunteer family, we have people from as young as 4 and as old as 70. So we're opening to all ages and all backgrounds. Everybody can get involved because giving back is universal, and everybody, anywhere, anytime can do it.
And so it's really awesome because for all our volunteer events, we tend to get new volunteers for every event, which is really incredible, because just seeing different people connect with others, I think that's what makes us special, is that we're able to expose people to new experiences and new people, new connections.
Spread awareness of new issues that they may not have heard about before.
And so I think that's really important. That's what makes us special. Personally, I think, because being a teen led, a lot of organizations at first were like, they're teens. They weren't seeing our impact until we started going out in the community. We started doing all of this, expanding our programs. And then we were able to make so many more connections and get so many more people involved and ultimately touch more lives.
And hearts.
Amazing. And hearts. Hearts are the most important. So what's going on right now? What does life look like now that you guys are in lockdown?
Well, it's not fun, but we are making the most of it. We are being productive still, and we are continuing to do parts of NEST that we can do safely. So through NEST Nurtures, we're still continuing doing our food rescues, using social distancing, taking all the precautionary measures, but we're still getting the community involved, and we're still giving food to those in need. So I think that's the most important part.
Which is probably also these days more important than ever.
Oh yes, definitely. Especially since many of the homeless people are stuck alone, even more alone now, because no one wants to go anywhere. And so I think it's very important for us
pretty hard.
Yeah, it's very important for at least us to be there for them. And so, yeah. And then NEST Tutors, we're also doing our virtual tutoring program, virtual free tutoring program, that allows kids from all over the world. So we have tutors and tutees from India, Canada, the UK. We have just everywhere. Global. And so that's one positive side of COVID. Obviously, there's so many negative sides, but just to look on the positive side is that we're able to go globally through this virtual tutoring program, which is really incredible.
And so if there's anybody who's listening to us right now, you guys are just ready to roar ahead.
We're very
we want to learn. I know you're excited, and we really want to learn about what you guys are doing. So let us. So if anybody listening right now who doesn't live in the United States and is saying, wow, this seems amazing to me, I would love to volunteer, right? And this is the tutors are either high school kids or students, right? University
students. High school and college kids, yes.
High school and college, great. So if there's somebody listening right now and saying, you know what, I would love to be a part of this, can they just contact you?
Yes, they can go to our website, www.nest4us.org. And on any of our social medias, we are continuously publicizing it, and we would love for them to get involved.
For NEST Tutors, we have a registration form, and it's on our website.
Very nice. Cool. Okay, keep going.
And then, for April, so April's almost over, but we're going to be continuing this. But in honor of Global Volunteer Month, we're partnering with Points of Light, a national organization, or global organization, I think. Yeah. To do our virtual kindness challenge. So basically a way for people, if they don't want to leave their houses, which they shouldn't, stay home, stay alive. Basically it's a way for people to spread kindness right from their own home. So they can post videos about kind acts, they can post inspirational, motivational quotes. They can just we have a variety of different kind acts that people can do. And I think that's very important right now, to spread positivity and spread kindness, especially when there's so much negative news going around right now. We think it's so important for that to be spread. Spread kindness, not the virus. That is our hashtag. Spread kindness, not the virus. So
that's awesome.
That's what we're preaching right now.
Yeah, well, it's amazing, I think, to see. I know it's true for me in my own life, is that the more you focus on doing good, the more you focus on the positive aspects of the situation that we're in, also the more positive you feel. It's not only that you're making a difference in other people's lives, it's also, it's good outside and it's good inside. Right. And so why not, right? We could be sitting at home and just be upset about the situation and upset about the fact that we have to stay at home and not go outside, right? Or we can channel it to doing good and making other people smile as well. Amazing. Yep. Cool. So what, other than the conference that's changing and the food and the tutoring, so that's basically how things have changed for you during the virus, right? You move the things that you can online. Do you find that you have more people or less people volunteering right now?
So, of course, since we can't do face-to-face and we can't be in person for a lot of our volunteer events, it was really, really heartbreaking for us at the beginning to just cancel the entire line of volunteer events we had committed to for the past like 3-4 months, even until June. And so that was tough. But again, like the positive side is we are able to get people connected virtually worldwide, which has been the biggest plus this whole time, is getting people connected worldwide. And that's one of our major goals, is to get NEST4US's impact globally. And so COVID is letting us do that at this point. And so we're kind of focusing on the positive of this and just rolling with it. But we are getting a very great response for our tutoring program. So we have over 200
mentees and tutors.
Yes. So it's been going really well. Lots of new ones. That's always the key.
Amazing. Yeah. Always bringing more people into the cycle of doing good, right? So I want to take you guys 4 years back, right? It's 4 years now that you've been around. What inspires, right, a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old to create an organization, to even start volunteering, right? Most 10 and 13-year-olds that I know are focused on it, on their phones or their friends, or both.
Or both.
So this is something we hear a lot, is that people either don't want to do it or they don't know how to give back. And so what I usually explain is, look, we make time to go to the movies. We make time to hang out with friends. We make time to do the things we enjoy. And volunteering, it does not take a long time. What we like to say, it only takes 30 seconds to change someone's day or life. So what we try to say is that you should not be having the time to give back. You should make the time. And I think that's very important for kids to realize, for anyone to realize, not even just, we've heard this from teens, from adults, everyone. So we really want to emphasize that point, is you don't need to have the time. We are extremely busy. Everyone is extremely busy. They have their things to do. We play sports, we have school, we have all of these things to do. But we still make time for it because we know how important our impact is in the community, and because we've seen it firsthand. And so the reason we preach this so much is because when people get involved, they feel it for themselves right here. They feel the impact that they're making, and they can see it firsthand, and that gets them to come back. And we've had so many dedicated volunteers. It changes your life. I mean, that's not even cliche. It changes your life. And so just seeing that and spreading that experience to people is really why we're here.
So I love your passion, and I agree 100% with everything you just said. And I'm asking myself, the Shreyaa and Esha of 4 years ago, right, didn't know everything you know now. So what got you started? What was the thing that, created, what was the seed that created this incredible organization?
Definitely, we noticed so many issues in our community, like we mentioned before, the whole, why are there so many homeless people? Why are there, like, we go to DC so many times just to sightsee. There's so many monuments, and we go to the cherry blossoms and things like that. And we'd always go there just to have fun. And then as we started growing older, we've noticed there's so many homeless people, and we were like, why can't we help them, right? And in our schools, we saw so many people just throwing away food that the homeless people on the flip side would love to have, you know what I mean? Like they need it so badly. So why is this happening? And just realizing that and thinking like we have to do something about this. Like even though I was 10, you were 13, like we had that drive. We were like, we need to solve this and we need to help. And that
we had the passion and heart. That's what I say.
Sure.
As long as you have the passion and heart to do something, that's all you need. You don't need to have money. You don't need to have anything else. You just need to have the passion, a dream, and a goal, and you can achieve it. And then eventually things will start coming to you for it. And that's what happened to us.
And we want to get our friends and community involved so that they can experience what we experience and help as many ways as they can and get more people involved. And then just that ripple effect that we hope to affect nationally and globally. That's our
and
goal.
Of course we are influenced by the people around us. So I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for being such supportive parents. And there's a whole long list of people to thank, but I want to specifically thank these two because they have been with us every step of the way. And the reason that we are so giving and selfless minded is because we've been volunteering with them since we were young, and we've had that exposure. And I think that's really important to have that influence, because you're influenced by the people around you, like I've said. So I think that influence is very important, and we've been blessed to have a lot of people in our lives. So I want to thank two specific people right now. Mr. Chris Redford, the founder of CJR Martial Arts, because he has been a continuous support, generously providing us with the space for all our service projects on our weekly tutoring program. So thank you for that. We've known him almost our entire lives.
He's the best.
Yeah, we both do martial arts there. So I'm a third degree black belt and assistant instructor.
And I'm a second degree black belt and assistant instructor.
So we've been really connected there, and we're just so thankful for him. And then also we'd like to thank Ms. Corliss Uduima, the founder of Agape Love in Action. We call her Mama U, because she's just been such a huge inspiration and huge support for us. Just an inspiring mentor, continuous support for our nonprofit. She's the reason that we decided to start a nonprofit, and she really pushed us, and because she saw what we could be. I think that's as simple as it is. She saw what we could be, and it's because of her, the community support, our school. There's a whole long list.
High school support.
Yeah, it's insane how much support we've received, and I think our volunteer family, our community, we cannot thank enough, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them.
And they believed in us since day one, and even before we were a nonprofit. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, I love, and I am sure they appreciate the fact that you're giving them credit. It says a lot about you and who you are. But what I'm hoping that everybody listening is hearing a few things that I'm taking out of what you just shared. First of all, age is not a factor, right? So many times, I hear people, I do a lot of work with teens, and I hear people saying, oh, they don't care about anything today. They're just focused on their, technology. They have no values or things like that. It's not true, right? It's not true. That's number one. Number two is that if we, for the adults listening, if we create the right environment, if we show a personal example, that has a huge impact on the young people around you, right? And it takes a village, right? None of us do this alone, right? It doesn't become what it is, right? Good Deeds Day doesn't have millions of people volunteering around the world because Good Deeds Day is the one who's volunteering around the world. No, it's our partners, it's the people out there, it's everybody who's doing the work, who's making a difference in this world, right? Who, as you said, who creates that ripple, because each one of us has a huge impact, makes a huge difference. So, it's not age is not a difference. B, thank you. And we all make a difference, and we can all make it happen, right? We just need to have the motivation, have the interest, and do what you guys did, which was identify a need in your community, right? You saw something that you personally were passionate about changing, and you took a step forward and said, I'm not going to wait for somebody else, right? I'm not going to call somebody else and say, why aren't you doing something about this? But said, I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to figure this out. which I think is an incredible example for all of us. Not just standing by.
Thank you.
So you deserve it, 100%. What would you say to the adults listening today who are interested in engaging teens in their own community? What advice do you have for them?
So I think there's a lot we could say, but the number one thing is to let teens follow their passion. Everyone has something they're interested in, and I don't think they should be forced into volunteering, especially in a certain thing, in a certain organization. That is not the goal at all. I think they should be open and free. They should have the freedom to volunteer in whatever way they would like to, whether that be monetarily, whether that be through fundraising, whether that be through serving the homeless, tutoring the homeless, tutoring kids in our community. I think it's very important for the child or the teen to choose what they're interested in, because everyone has a passion, and I think for them to be able to follow that will really help them get really passionately involved, personally involved in it. And I keep tapping here because that's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I would say. And also that this is more directed to the teens, but again, with that whole time thing, you will have time. There is enough time in this world for you to do whatever you want to do. It's just you have to make that time. There's enough time, just make it. That's it.
Yeah. We always say there's always time for the things that are important to us.
Yes.
Right. Yes. But I think the key thing that I'm taking for you is helping, maybe what our responsibility is as adults is helping teens figure out what their passion is. Right. Is instead of saying, you have to do this or you have to do that, saying, volunteering is a value that we have. Why don't you explore and figure out what you care about?
And
right?
just give them
what do you care about?
Yeah, give them the opportunity to do it, to just go out there in the community and explore. They themselves can go explore what's out there, because there are so many organizations, so many great organizations trying to help really important causes. And so no one can really say there's no opportunities, because there are so many. And I think you just need to take that extra step and look for them and go get involved in it. That's
Right. And I would even say that in places in the world who might be listening to us where there isn't quite as a developed volunteer network, right, an organization as you guys happen to live in a place that has, a wide variety of opportunities to volunteer that doesn't exist everywhere in the world, is that, you are an example of, well, if it doesn't exist, you can create it. Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You can go out and see what does what does my community need? Right. What does my community need, and what skills do I have that can best contribute? Right.
Yes.
Best contribute to making a difference. And then I would say that the other question is, which I heard you guys answer, which is, who are my partners? Right. Who are my supporters and who are my partners who can help make this happen?
Yeah, we have a lot of financial partners, I would say, who at first, so when we first started, it was really hard for us to get funds, considering that we were a teen-led, and many of them, they doubted. They were kind of wary on how much impact we could truly make. And I think once we really showed that we could make an impact, once we have this developed volunteer family, they're now so open to giving us funds. So we've received funds from Safeway, Costco, Walmart, Youth Service America, L'Oreal Paris, Karma for Cara, Sodexo Stop Hunger. There's so many of them. And I think just having that support has been really helpful for us. And of course, our community giving us in-kind donations, monetary donations. There's so much we can thank. Like it's easy to say that, but there's so many people we could thank right now, and we just want to encompass it with our volunteer family. Anyone who's helped us in some way is considered part of our volunteer family, so we'd just like to thank everyone for that.
Right. And I know that there's some people who are listening to us right now and are thinking, well, funds is something that is more challenging for us, right? It's not easy everywhere. And what I want you to hear what they're saying is that, first of all, I didn't start with funds. That's first of all. And second of all, is that part of it is going out to your community and saying who could be interested, right? Who could be partners? And it's not always about giving money. Sometimes it's giving something in kind, right? In the same way that the program that they're doing with with the food distribution, right, is finding places that are already making the food. They would be throwing out the food if they weren't giving it to them, right? If we weren't helping redistribute it to the homeless, it would have been thrown out at the end of the day. So what do we have in our community that doesn't require extra, right? That can be run with what we have. And there's a lot to do with what we have, right? If we can get extra, if we can get other organizations to help support, fantastic. But even if we can't, we can still do a tremendous amount. Like, for example, your tutoring program, right? All that requires is our personal time, right? Just giving who we are and the skills that we have and making a difference that way. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I'd like to ask you, because time has gone by really quickly, is first of all, if anybody's listening has a question, this is your last chance to write it in the chat and let us know so we can, in the comments, sorry, and let us know if there's anything you want to ask. We're more than happy to answer. So do that now. But while they're thinking, what I'd like to ask you guys is, what's your advice? What's your advice for teens listening right now? And what's your advice for the adults who are running? A lot of the people who are listening to us are running their own volunteer organizations in their own countries. So what is your advice to them and to them?
So again, basically following your passion, that's the number one advice I would give them, and to have a clear goal. What exactly do you want to accomplish, and how do you want to do it? First, you have to identify a problem, then you have to identify a solution, then you make an action plan, then you get people involved,
and spread the awareness.
And spread the awareness is the last one. So I think if you follow those steps, it's very, very open to your creativity after that. If you follow that like kind of generic layout, is just, that's what we did. We found a problem, we have a solution, we got the community involved, and we're spreading awareness through virtual platforms and face-to-face flyers, all that. And so I think just taking that first step, that's it. Finding something that you're passionate about, whether it can literally be anything in the world. It does not have to be homelessness. It does not have to be food waste. It can be something as simple as, there are kids in my school that sit alone at lunch. What can I do to help? I can go sit with them. That's the first step. From there, you can think, how else can I help? Who else could be having this problem? Then you can spread and see who else is interested. And then that's how it spreads. And that's how it spread for us. I have actually made a lot of my closest friends through community service. And I think that's something really special to me, is I get to do the stuff that I enjoy doing along with the people that I really care about. And I think that's something that's really, really close to my heart. So
another thing is, like, people don't need any special skills to positively impact someone's life. You just need heart and passion, really. You don't need money. You don't need a fancy job. You don't need to be an adult or a superhero or anything, you know. Kids like us, we can make a difference, and everyone can together.
100%. Amazing. That is a fabulous message to leave everybody with. So thank you. Thank you again. Really, this was so much fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I had a good time. I hope everybody had a good time.
Uh-oh, it froze. I think there's some technical difficulties.
Hi there.
Hi.
Well, we're still streaming on Facebook. I'm sorry about that. It seems like we got
Okay.
kicked off. Good, we got kicked off all the way at the end. So first of all, sorry for everybody listening. So let me repeat that last part, which is inviting you to our next conversation next Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, North America time. You'll have to do your own conversion for the rest of the world. Again, we're going to be talking with Masa Israel Alumni Program, which is a program that is designated specifically for students and young adults that come on volunteer programs and internship programs, and they work on creating community and connection and volunteer opportunities, and they have moved their whole program online given what's going on right now. And we're going to learn how to do that, right? How do you create community and connection in a world that becomes 100% virtual? So I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Thank you and goodbye from everybody at the team of Good Deeds Day. Thank you to you two. And first of all, amazing job on what you've done and what you do. And the world thanks you, and I thank you, and so does Good Deeds Day. Esha and Shreyaa, thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving
again.
us this platform to share our work. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. And so goodbye, everybody, and stay home and stay safe, as we say. And hopefully we will meet each other in person someday soon. Bye.
Bye.